everyone, it's Emaphant here, and I'm back with a brand new speed build. So today we are building in Selvadorada. Oh God, I always say that wrong. Selvadorada, the Jungle Adventures world, which I am still so in love with. It's so beautiful. To be honest, I haven't actually played the game at all since I got it. I've only built, but I mean, I like to build. I don't actually play the game that much. I just really like to build in The Sims. So I'm loving this pack though. Like I love all of the plants and all of the items. I think they're so pretty. Like the tiles are so gorgeous. So I'm having a great time still building with that. But this house is a 2-bedroom house with 3 beds in it. So obviously, Selvadorada is a vacation world. You cannot live there full time. So I didn't really worry about having enough bedrooms to support all of the beds I wanted to have. I felt like it'd be fine. You know, if you're on vacation, you can share a bedroom with your sibling or whatever else. So there's only 2 bedrooms. One, of course, being the master bedroom, and then the other bedroom has a single bed in it, and then a toddler bed actually, because my build was kind of small on that floor, so I couldn't really fit it in. We have a really funky floor plan here. I kind of just wanted to build something that would be interesting, that would be unique, and have like a lot of pieces to it that, I don't know, it just felt fun, felt like there was a lot of movement in the house. But that made it really hard when I went to actually furnish it to get all of the stuff in the house that I wanted to get in. So the children's bedroom, that's what I'm trying to say. The children's bedroom is a little bit squished. It all fits, but it's a little squished. We have a ton of space on the first floor. We have a lovely pool at the back. So it's really more about being out of the house. I mean, if you think about like when you're on vacation, I know I don't like to be in the bedroom I'm staying in that much. Like I'd rather go out and go to the beach, or go, if I'm in a more of a mountain area, like go outside and be outside. So I kind of figured that would hold true in this world as well, because obviously if you're in a place that's as beautiful as the jungle world that we're in here, you're going to want to be out amongst nature and see some of the sights to be seen there. So I wasn't too worried about having that be a little bit smaller, and most of our areas are outside. Also, our only staircase to the second floor is outside, which is interesting, but I feel like it works in this instance. I mean, you would be outside a lot, so like, I don't know, I think it's fine. I didn't really want to try to fight with that and squish it into the main body of the interior of the house either, as well as that, I guess, hallway. It doesn't look like a hallway, but that middle section on the second floor is, of course, outside. So that's the only way to get into the 2 bedrooms, is through that middle section on the second floor. So I feel like that's another reason why it's probably fine that the stairs are only outside and there's not an inside staircase. So I don't know. I think it's fun. If you guys don't like it, you don't have to download it. So yeah, there's that. Speaking of which, it is available to download on the gallery under my user ID, Emaphant, if you would like to download it. I think it's a fun house. It's very colorful. I was also trying to be very colorful with this because we get so many beautiful colors. Like all of the tiles that we get, and it's not really stucco, but it kind of has that texture to it. I think it's so pretty. Like the reds in this build, or the reds in this pack, and the blues and the oranges, I think are stunning. Like they're just a really nice shade, I feel like. So I wanted to incorporate as much of that as I could, and I think that it ends up well. We're messing around a lot with the floor plan here just because I did like the outside of the house with all of its funky little pieces, but it made it really hard to roof, and it made it really hard to make a floor plan. So it takes me a little while to get everything situated, and then I do change my mind on the colors of the windows at some point. I forget why I did that, but I just wasn't feeling that lighter wood after I started getting through it. I think it was because of the roof. Like I didn't like it next to the roofing I chose, so then I had to change everything. But I think it ends up well once we get there. It just takes me a couple of tries to figure out what I want to do, and I'm so obsessed with these red walls. Like they're just so pretty. But then I decided not to do these gorgeous red walls because I love that bougainvillea in the more red color, but I don't love it next to the red walls. So I changed all the bougainvillea to white, but then I was like, oh no, I really want it in the red color. So then I changed it all back to red, and I put up these blue walls and some tan walls or yellow walls so I could keep it at red because I liked it so much. But it's a very colorful house, which is really unusual for me. I mean, I've been trying to do more colorful builds lately just because I want to like do something different and have something more unique. But I like simple builds. Like I like white, I like blues or like sage greens as my colors, but those are really muted and like calm, I guess. I don't know. I like calm colors. They soothe me. But I've been trying to be a little bit more adventurous because there's some great colors in The Sims. Like I think that a lot of people really enjoy colors. They add in some really cool colors and I want to explore that more. And I know other people like to have more color as well, just as something different. So I've been trying to do a little bit more of that. I mean, we still have some very simple builds coming up, or mixes. I guess I should say that they're mixes because there's parts of it that are just like white or like exposed wood, exposed brick, but there's also parts of it that are really, really colorful. So I have another build coming up that I'm actually thinking of right now that I've already recorded the footage. I just haven't done the rest of the video for, that is going to be like that. So keep your eyes peeled for that, y'all, if you want to see that. Anyway, we are about to be moving on to the backyard-ish area, back patio area. We do get a pool in here, and you probably saw a little while ago, we got a hot tub up here, so it's a very fun house. I think that this would be a really cool place to vacation if you could stay here. And it's definitely all about being outside and getting some of those views as well, because it's just so pretty. Like, if you guys, I think I said this last Jungle Adventures video I made, but if you haven't looked at some screenshots of this world, like, you have to. It's so, so beautiful, and just the lighting in this world, and then the cliff sides, and all the detail to the plants around the world, not just the objects that we get, but like the actual world itself, are so beautiful. So definitely check it out if you have not done so already, because I'm literally still obsessed, and like it's been a while. I think like the rest of the community is probably a bit over it, but like I love it. I love it. I can't believe that we've gotten another stuff pack since this Jungle Adventure pack has come out either, because I feel like we just got this pack and now we have the pet stuff pack, which is just like so much all at once, and it's a bit overwhelming for me. But we also go a little bit crazy with all of the plants in this build, because I just think that's fitting for the world around it. I mean, if you're going to be in a jungle, you're going to have a lot of plants around. You're going to have a lot of greenery because it's a jungle. Like, of course you do. So I really wanted this house to fit in with that terrain around it. So we do get quite a bit of plants and greenery around, as well as inside and on like these porches and other little like indoor outdoor spaces that we have everywhere. So definitely a pretty area. This house is also not cheap. I have no idea what it's come in at, but, well, right, because it's a vacation world house. Emily, what are you thinking? I think that it was around $900 a day to stay here, which is expensive. It's quite expensive, I think, as far as the pre-built EA houses go, but it's $900 a day. Like, you could probably do that for like a day for whatever sim you have, so it's reasonable. Yeah, I like it. The interior is a little bit weird. I think I got like overly excited about some of the different objects and I wanted to put everything in. And so y'all can tell me if you like it or if you think like the layout's a little funky. Like there's an area with a bar that I'm kind of like, I don't know if this was the best use of space, but I feel like if you're on vacation, like you should have a bar. Like, come on. So I'd be curious to see what your guys' feedback is in terms of the layout and in terms of what types of objects I'm choosing to have in there. Because I always try to think about that, like when you're building the house, like who are your Sims? What do they want in their home for them to have a good time? Whether it's a vacation home and that's more leisure activities, or a actual home that they live in full time, that it's like what kind of skill building activities do they want? What do they do for fun? Like what does that look like for them? So I always try to think about that when I'm filling up these rooms, like what's important to have in this build and what isn't. I don't know. That's what I like to do. And I think I saw Simlessly do this with the fire coffee table from City Living? Maybe from City Living. But I think that fire coffee table is the perfect thing with this pack, especially if you're like me and you like things being a little bit more modern. Obviously, this build is not particularly modern, but I think that's just a really, really nice piece to go with some of this indoor or indoor-outdoor furniture, because I think it's like brings in a functionality that would be really, really nice if you think about it in reality. Like, I would love to have a fire pit or fire table in my backyard. I actually have a little fire jar. I don't know if you can even call it a jar, but it's like this little, it's maybe the size of a football, or like a little bit smaller than a soccer ball like an American football or like slightly smaller than a soccer ball. Anyway, so it has like this fuel, what do you call that? The liquid that you can light on fire, I guess it's fuel. It has some stuff in it. It has like this little tiny little flame that comes up, and the flame's a couple inches tall at the very, very most, and that is my current fire pit on my deck. But it's pretty. I like to have fire. I'm a little bit of a pyro, y'all. Like, it's so pretty. I don't know. I think watching fire is one of the most mesmerizing things to watch. That sounds a little bit weird. Like little fires, like not bonfires, but just like campfires is a word that I am searching for. I am struggling with my words right now. But like watching campfires, if you're camping or just like out on a beach or like whatever, is I think one of the prettiest things, because they just like they flicker in the light and like the smell of them. It's so, so nice. I really want a wood fireplace in my house, but my fireplaces are too old that I would probably burn my house down if I lit a fire in one of them. They're old. I think that I had something living in them before I moved here, like not while I'm here. But I think that I had like birds living in my chimney at one point, because there's stuff that like falls down from my chimney that leads me to believe this is really gross. I'm sorry. Like, y'all are gonna have to hear some stuff you don't want to hear. But I don't think it would go well were I to light a fire in my fireplaces. So we've been talking about getting electric inserts because those are a lot more affordable than gas inserts, and they still actually kick off a lot of heat. So I'm hoping to do that maybe before next Christmas. I have a lot of other things that I want to do like more urgently, and it's coming into summer here, so I don't really need a fireplace in the middle of summer in my house. They're pretty, but like when it's 95 degrees outside, I'm probably not going to light a fire because I'm going to be like sweating my face off and it's going to be horrible. But it'd be really nice for like Christmas time and the holidays to have that, because I just think it's so festive too. So we'll see about that. I have so many projects in my house that I want to get done that I just keep like having to choose which one I'm going to do now because I don't have the time or money to do so. But hopefully we'll get there. I don't know. Anyway, so this is a funky little patio porch area that we're working on. It's going to be behind the living room, but I just wanted a lot of outdoor space. So we have another little patio. The one with the hot tub is actually off of the master bedroom. So that's kind of like the parents' hot tub, the parents' patio deck area, balcony. The balcony is the word I want. I like doing that because especially if you are on vacation with a family, you probably want some adult space too. Because like if you're doing everything with your kids all day, well, in theory, they'll probably go to bed before you if they're younger, which I assume that they were based on how I built this house. And then you can have a spot that's like just for the adults, for the grown-up stuff. You like have some fun there, yeah. Anyway, moving on from that conversation. I also love, I already said the tiles, but I also love the hardwood floors that we got with Jungle Adventure. Like, I don't know why I'm so obsessed with them, but they're just the right colors, just the right amount of like rustic, but have enough texture in the art style. Like, they're so pretty. Everything in this pack is so pretty, and I want it in real life, but I can't have it because that's not how The Sims works. I can't just get things in real life. Wouldn't that be amazing if you could just get objects in The Sims in real life? Like, I don't just mean like floor tiles and stuff, but like the beds or the light switches, not switches, Emily, the light fixtures and all that stuff. I'm on fire today, you guys, like real good voiceover. But that would be so cool because they have such awesome objects in The Sims. And I'm sure that there's probably places that have similar objects for sale, but I just think they're really cool. And I just want everything in The Sims in real life too. Anyway, so we're working on the master bedroom here. It's also like a kind of funky layout, but I think it works. We have like a little chair over in the corner. We have a mirror. We have some dresser space, but also since it's a vacation home, I feel like you don't really need as much dresser space as you might in a full-time house. I don't know, that always makes sense to me that like you wouldn't really need a full closet area if you're just staying there for vacation. And I don't imagine that anyone owns this house, who lives here more full-time. I imagine this is like a full year-round vacation house, so it's not like anyone would have all their clothes, in here. I always think it's kind of funky if you do go on vacation someplace, and you're staying in someone's house, like an Airbnb type thing, where you're staying in someone's house who usually lives there full-time, like, their clothes are there. and you're staying in their house, and it's weird. I did that once with my boyfriend as we stayed in Guadeloupe in the Caribbean, and we stayed in a woman's house that we had rented for a couple of days, and God, it was stunning, like so beautiful. But like it was her house, so she had her clothes in the closet, and like her kid's bedroom had kids' toys in it. And I was just like, this is weird. This is so weird. But Airbnb is a really cool concept too. It's really affordable. Well, it's a lot more affordable than other options anyway. So we're just about wrapping up with the parents' bedroom. I put in those lanterns from movie Hangouts, and I wanted to change the lights to a more yellow light because those have a really cold light, and I didn't think that quite fit with this build. So if you do want to download this house, like I meant to do that. If you guys want to do that, if you guys care about these types of things, I feel like some people just don't really care about like that level of detail, but I would totally recommend changing that to a more yellow light because I think it'll look a lot nicer in that space. Messing around with the bathroom here. We just have a really simple bathroom ensuite area for the parents' bedroom. We get a shower, toilet, sink, like y'all know the drill. I don't really like bathrooms. I've said that before. I find them a little bit boring. I really like the stuff that we got with Jungle Adventure. Like I think that tile is beautiful that comes in the shower as well as the walls. I actually downloaded the matching tiles, some custom content that has the matching tiles as those walls as floor tiles, which I do not understand why we didn't get with this pack. Like, if you're going to make this beautiful tile, give it to us in a floor tile too. Like, I don't get that. But I really like them. So the other build that I will be sharing relatively soon, I hope, uses those a little bit more. So you guys can see that. You guys can see that as well. If you would like to check that out, I'd recommend it. It'll be up in a couple of days after this video comes out. Working on the kitchen here, we go through a couple of different ideas of where to put the islands. And by island, obviously, I mean counters because we don't have islands in the Jungle Adventure counters. I'm not bitter at anything. Like, it's fine. I don't mind. Anyway, adding in some windows and stuff like that to just bring in a little bit more air. Like, there's a lot of just open air windows and spaces in this house because it'd be nice, you know? And I feel like the jungle doesn't ever get, like, too hot or too cold, I think. I think it's, like, pretty temperate, right? Like, obviously it's really humid because it rains so much. But I feel like, well, no, it gets hot. I don't know what I'm talking about. It totally gets hot, doesn't it? But I feel like people live there, like, they don't use air conditioning. They just use, like, the winds because it, like, I don't know. Is that right? Like, people don't really have central air in a lot of jungle places. They just use, like, open windows and have the breeze coming through, I think. What was my point to this? Anyway, there's a lot of open windows in this house. That was my point. We're pretty much wrapping up the kitchen here. I do really like these counters. I think they're very nice. I think somebody I was watching said that they felt like the handles were really big on the counters, but I don't think they're more out of scale with than anything else we've gotten in The Sims. Like, yeah, we get big handles in most of our counters, but I think it's pretty consistent in terms of the size. I feel like it's probably because they just can't do that detail of art for it because, like, if you don't, like, so I'm getting a little bit technical here, but, like, the poly count of having a smaller detail is going to be really high that it might not work on a lot of people's computers. So I think that's why they probably have bigger handles so that it is, like, a bigger, more simplistic, like, they don't have to have as much detail for it to look like a finished object. I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head, but it might not make sense coming out of my mouth. Anyway, that's my theory. I don't know that that's true, but, like, I'm pretty sure it's just to kind of balance the detail of the animation. Also, you might see me, like, accidentally delete rooms a couple of times. I definitely do that because, like, if I'm placing an object or thinking about placing an object and then decide not to, I hit just delete while I'm holding it. But if I've accidentally clicked on the floor or something, it's going to delete the whole room. So if you ever see me do that in any of my builds, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to delete the object I think I'm holding, but I'm not holding an object. I'm holding the whole room. And then I just delete the entire room and it disappears. I mean, I'm so grateful we have undo in The Sims. I don't know what I would do if we didn't have the undo for building. I think I'd lose it. Like, I'd be so angry. Because, you know, if you build a whole room and, like, you just hit delete and then it's gone, it's like, oh my God, that just disappeared on me. Like, that'd be awful, right? So this is going to be the lounge room, living room area. We do not have a TV in this house. We also do not have a computer, but we do have a desk. So if you'd like to add a computer, there's a spot all set up for you already. You would just have to add it. But I figured, if you're going to be in the jungle world vacation, like, you don't really need a TV or computers. Like, go outside, go by the pool, like, go in the jungle, have an adventure. Like, I don't know. If you want to add it, like, there's a spot for a computer. There's not a great spot for a TV, but you'll be fine. Go outside, go see the sun, But you could add it if you want to. You could probably just replace the fireplace with a TV stand and do it that way. I also realized that this fireplace is as tall as a medium height wall, or like requires a medium height wall to fit. And I did not know that. So all of my walls are the shortest height in this house. And I wanted to use this fireplace because it's awesome and it's so cool. But it didn't fit. So you might see me go upstairs in a little while and you'll see it like poking up into the floor up there. I do fix that later on. I think that I shrink it down. I actually might do it here. I can't remember if I do it right here. But I do shrink it down just one little size, but I did not play test this, so I'm pretty sure it'll still be functional. What I don't know is if the animation's going to be messed up because the fire will be like bigger. You know how if you size down like candles, a lot of the time the flame will like float someplace else. I don't know if that will happen is what I'm saying. So you could swap it out for a different fireplace if it does. I know that's sad because like it fits really well in this house. Well, I feel like it fits really well in this house, but you could, or you could, I don't know, just deal with it. Whatever you want to do. Anyway, we're moving on to the kids' bedroom here. Just getting a couple beds in. Their room's extremely simple. It's just the 2 beds, like a plant and a chair. And I think that's like pretty much it. There are no kids' toys in this house. That in hindsight, it's probably something I should have added and I did not do. But you guys can do it if you want to download it. I'm just going to keep saying that. You guys can change all of my mistakes if you want to download this build. Anyway, adding in the bathroom here, we do remember to get a bathtub since I have a toddler bed and you can't take the toddler can't take a shower. So we do have a bathtub. We only have a bathtub in the kids' bathroom, but I also feel like that's fine. I mean, I feel like if you're on vacation, like in a place like this where you're going to go swimming a lot, like you kind of just rinse off and like you rinse off in the pool, like you're fine. You'll be okay. That's probably gross and like not realistic, but go outside and like rub some dirt in it. You're fine. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. That's exactly what you want to do instead of showering. Go outside and rub some dirt in it. Best advice right here. You heard it first. This little space that I'm going to move on from that. This little space that I'm working on right now, it's just like a funky little like foyer landing area on the 2nd floor. So I just put a table there and then we put a couple other things in the outdoor space that is that hallway, quote unquote. I'm going to call it a hallway because I don't know what else to call it. But we get some lights out there and just, I don't think we get a chair or anything on the outdoor section on the 2nd floor. But yeah, just adding some finishing touches here. We are just about wrapping up actually. So if you want to download this build, it is on the gallery under my origin ID at Emaphant. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, or subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!